You can make a bad investment in a good area, and you can make a good investment in a bad area. That was also really good.
I think if I should tell who is Rasmus in one sentence, then I would say I'm a simple man.
In the first place, how did you end up in Bali?
In the first place, I invited a girl. If you look at the brand of Bali and what makes people stay, well, it's because people feel at home.
Welcome guys to the Coco Founders Talk. I am in the presence of the great Rasmus Holst, the founder of Coco Development Group in Bali.
A pleasure. Super nice to be here today in my own villa.
Indeed, it's my pleasure to be here actually. So Rasmus, you are at the helm of a really big, not only company, but movement in Bali. We're pushing a lot about the Bali lifestyle and attracting a lot of people. But first, I think a lot of people have a lot of questions about who you are. We all talk about you, but we want to know who you are. So would you like to elaborate a little bit on what brought you to Bali and who you were before you came to Bali?
I'm a changed man. Nothing has been the same ever since I came to Bali the first time. No, joke aside, I think if I should tell who is Rasmus in one sentence, then I would say I'm a simple man.
Okay.
You know, I think whatever you do, let's say you're the fastest man in the world to run. You know what I mean? I think at some point you will be like, but I'm just running. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because you are so aware of what you do, and you're like, well, I don't say you would look down on others, but I think in the same way, you know, I have some capabilities. I just do what I do, and from my perspective, everything I do is like quite simple. But I'm 29. I grew up in Denmark, Copenhagen. I think I've always been rather go too far and not far enough. I always try to let's say push the limits. Try to say, hey, this is your comfort zone. You know, the grass moves a little bit faster and grows a little bit faster if you're out of it. I love to learn. I love to do. I love to create. I'm an entrepreneur by heart, but it's also a creator. In Danish, it's called an iværksætter. In the bigger picture, if you translate it one-to-one, it means you are a creator, more or less.
Okay.
So I've been doing a lot of different things. I did events. I brought people together. I made festivals for 6 years, big sponsor deals, etc., things like that. And I also have a big finance company in Denmark. I've helped, good question, I think I've helped, 5,000, 7,000 different companies the last 5 years with tax consulting, creating companies, setting up bank accounts, a financial statement, tax reports, etc. You can say everything in the world of taxes and legal. And then I'm obviously the founder and owner of Coco Development Group, where we help. I think we have a little bit more than 300 clients worldwide. We help people investing into properties in Bali. We help people make money. We help people get a better lifestyle. Then we do a lot of things around that.
Yeah, it's very nice how you describe yourself. If I could describe you, I'd have 2 words. Humble, and I'm lucky to also call you a friend. So,
likewise.
So you talk about Bali. Why did you actually end up in Bali? I know you talk about how Bali is a place where you met so many good people that's why you call it home. But in the first place, how did you end up in Bali?
In the first place, I invited a girl to Bali. I was traveling the world a little bit around, and I think from my point of view, Bali has always been what I've been looking for somehow. You can describe it as, imagine you are, let's say you are a paddle player and you come to an island and everybody's playing paddle. You know, that's home. What the metaphor for me means is that you come to a place just filled up with, like, we are the first generation. You don't just randomly end up in Bali. Everybody's here for a reason. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the majority of the people you meet here, they have a purpose, they have a story to tell, they have something that is meaningful for them. I don't say that people didn't have that back home, but like 99% of people you meet here, they're entrepreneurs of some kind. They do something they're passionate about, and it's just a hub. In the same way as being in Dubai, for example, is a hub. You have the whole world living there.
Yeah.
Like the level of diversity, and I love diversity. I love to learn. I love to sit down, talk with a homeless person. I did that. I loved that when I was in Copenhagen. I used to live just next to a big bridge, and I was always, like, not always, but I was always, often I was just standing drinking a cup of coffee, and I love, different kinds of lifestyles. I love to just learn in the same way as I did events for many years. And the philosophy about it was saying, we have the yoga girl, we have the bank man, we have two human beings so different, but who can learn so much from each other.
True.
And in the same way, I love to meet people of all kinds. Imagine if we were all the same. That would be crazy.
No, that would not be nice.
I vote for not everybody being like Rasmus.
Oh, actually, I vote for everyone being like you. Okay, so you touched about here, there's a lot of entrepreneurs. And it's true, in Bali, there's a huge network to be made. Why do you think there are so many investors and entrepreneurs that come to this place specifically? You talk about Dubai, but why Bali? In your opinion, what attracts people and what makes people stay in Bali especially?
People feel home. Bali has an incredible including energy. People feel home.
That's so true.
As we have said in a tagline at Coco Development Group as well. At Coco Development Group, we believe a place is only as good as the people in it, and true value is created by making people feel home. And you can say it's in many cases, I don't want to say it's a reflection of the brand of Bali, but if you look at the brand of Bali and what makes people stay, well, it's because people feel home. I heard it as late as the last 2 weeks' time. I have a client, I'm in talk with a girl from Holland who texted me that, hey Rasmus, actually I'm coming back to Bali next week. I was like, no, wow, you just went back to Holland for 2 weeks ago? I missed it. I missed Bali. And it's the same story that goes again and again and again. People come from holiday and they end up never leaving. Yeah. Because they have this, as I see it, I remember when I came back to Denmark at some point, I just still remember this small thing that I was standing in an elevator and this woman was not going out. There's nothing big in it, but I went out. And then I went out and she's like, excuse me, can I go out first? And I was like, in Bali, I've never seen a baby cry.
So true.
I've never seen anyone fight, and the thing about I've never, like literally speaking, I've never seen a baby cry. And the thing is, kids, they don't lie.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to lie.
That's such a good point.
They take the atmosphere, take their surroundings, and they just express their feelings. If they are eating something sour, they're gonna make that funny face, right?
Yeah.
And if they are sad, if they feel the atmosphere, the same as a dog, if it doesn't feel comfortable, it's gonna rough, right? And I think that's a beautiful reflection of how including Bali is. And how positive energy you have here is probably the place on earth where you have the lowest level of stress. People is in balance.
Yeah.
They forget about their problems. Everything is like, big real estate project is called Nuano. What does Nuano means? It means that things are in flow. Bali is in flow. You never get a no, man. Your bank lady texts you on WhatsApp, even in her holidays, and wish you Merry Christmas.
Yeah, it's very true what you say. It's so true, the baby point. It's such a point that you would only bring up and nobody else would bring up, and you're so right.
Yeah.
That's so true. The lifestyle here is flow, is peaceful. It's true that you don't see people. There's so much traffic at some specific places and people don't get angry in the traffic. That is so true. The lifestyle in Bali is really peaceful, and you play a lot on that. Coco is, yes, a real estate company and real estate developer, but it's also a lifestyle brand and community. Mm-hmm. And so how did you end up, did it come naturally that you wanted to open a real estate development group and grow this huge lifestyle Bali community, or did you already plan for it, or did it come on its own? And what are the benefits of combining both, in your opinion?
I think it came naturally. I didn't think, it came naturally. I can tell you exactly how many business plans I've made in my life. So it was not Rasmus making a 60 pages PDF about how to take over the real estate market of Bali. I think it always have been something that has been very deep inside of me. It's not. I was connected to a company called Soundbox, and all branding and all marketing related came from. It's just a functional. It's like a material, and you can die by drinking too much milk, right?
Yeah.
So, from my perspective, I think it's just super important to have a focus on what is the lifestyle it can bring with you if you actually have this property. So I see the property as a functional. From a functional perspective, I see it as the key to let's say open up for paradise, open up for probably the best place on earth, little Bali.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You actually answered my two questions at the same time. The second question was about how do people benefit from having both combined? When they invest in a Coco property, they enter the Coco community and Coco world. And I was going to let you describe what the benefits are, but you totally described them in one sentence.
It has a value increase. It's not because we're taking anything out of it. You know, you can put it up. You can invest in a hotel without no storytelling, no tagline. You can compare that with, let's say, the coffee industry. You can invest into Starbucks. You know what I mean? Starbucks has a story to tell. They have created a brand value. That's why you can take a coffee bean from Colombia or wherever it's coming from, and there it costs 0.000 cent, and then you put it into a fancy coffee bar. You know, you have increased the value because you have put in some associations. You have, whatever. You create a higher value. That's why you're able to charge $5-7 for Starbucks coffee. In the same way, I want people to understand. Or be aware of, with other words, that before they enter into a Coco property and stay in a Coco property, people are very simple. If you put people in an elevator, they don't speak together. If you put people at a long table, they talk. That's how they function. We stop for red, we go over green. The whole world does that. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of any place where they have yellow and pink. But if it was my world, my point is just that if you create a storytelling and you invite people into a room where you say, hey man, when you're in this room, you are allowed to talk together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you encourage people to speak together. And as I quite often say to clients, I'm having meetings with, etc. Sometimes I ask, can I ask you, Sean? If I ask you what is the best place you've been in the world, try it just for a second. Close your eyes. Tell me what is the best place you've been in the world. Nobody have told me I was staying at this 5-star hotel and that brunch was incredible. Come on, man. It's fucking eggs, you know. Eggs are eggs, you know. You can make them in different variants and you can give them too much. But a memory is very simple. A memory is created by two different things. We create memories. We create experiences. We take the best from let's say, the world of hostels. Hostels is for me equals experiences. You meet a lot of people. You have the community. That's where you get the good stories. Not only 5-star hotels, but I want to create. Yeah, I don't think it should be like that.
And we have one more question that was posted by the community. People wanted to know how can you be sure you're investing in the right company in Bali? A lot of people come to Bali with the intent of working, but also investing here. What are some criteria that you think they should take into account when investing in a company here?
I think I would just invest with us. No, well, I would, but that's because I know what I'm capable of. But in bigger picture, I would first of all I would look into track record. Have the company made anything previous? Then I would gather, let's say, different sources of data. What is data? That is, for example, to speak with 10 different companies. As you used to say, you can make a good investment in a bad area, and you can make a bad investment in a good area, right? And so I think in general, I would be critical. And then I can say, from my perspective, what is my focus as a developer? Well, it is to differentiate ourselves. It's what I've been doing my whole life. It's, you know, you positionate yourself from on something. In the same way as if you are creating this clothing brand, you know, you if you're for everyone, you're for no one. You need to stand for something. You need to have a voice. So you can say from our perspective, very, very focused on creating concepts that's differentiated. Amazona Jungle Resort, a clear concept. No, everybody coming to Bali doesn't want to, stay in a jungle resort. If we just created 2-bedroom villas or townhouses like everyone else, well, then we're in competition with 25,000 other accommodations just in the area of Canggu. I live in Canggu. I love Canggu. I'm living in a villa here. I would never invest here. Every single day I see people investing in Canggu. That's all right, So I think everything comes down to understanding and information.
And they all have to sleep somewhere.
We've never had more people arriving in Bali than last December. Bali is like a company. If you look into customer satisfaction, let's call it that, my guess would be that around 99% of all people being in Bali, they refer Bali. It's simple math. That if people have a good experience, same as if you buy a pair of shoes in a web shop, and this customer service person just did that extra effort. That is the person you meet in the supermarket, in Mart or in Pepito, who gives you that extra smile. It is the person that is standing doing construction in the side of the street who gives you a smile, even that he's standing at 34 degrees, earning $50 per day. It's your Grab driver flying through the rain and he apologizes for being late when he comes with your food. It's the local people. In the end of the day, what makes Bali extremely special and what makes it absolutely impossible to duplicate, it is the culture, it's the local people.
100%.
That's the reason the baby is not crying.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, it's not because of me.
You can make a bad investment in a good area, and you can make a good investment in a bad area. That was also really good. Well, you heard it here first. We love this series. We'd love to get more of your questions if you would like for the next episode. Anyways, thank you very much, Rasmus, for your time and answering the community questions. And don't forget to follow Coco Development Group on Instagram, and can't wait to share more adventures with you.
Woo! Super good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think so.